In today's video, we're going to take a step into evaluating the career of Virgil van Dijk at Liverpool Football Club and really determining whether or not we can consider him the greatest defender to ever play for the Reds. And then following doing that, we will take this one step further to see if we can actually categorize him as the greatest player to play for Liverpool in the modern era. Now, since joining the club in the winter transfer of 2018, Van Dijk has been a staple in our back four. And while there have been times where he has missed out due to injury and things of that nature, whenever Virgil is not in that starting lineup, his absence is missed. Now guys, I'm going to get right into this, but before I do, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. I'm currently on my way to 1,000 subscribers, so any support, I really do appreciate it. Let's get right into this. Evaluating a player's greatness in football is no easy task. It's difficult often to compare players from different eras and different styles of play. One particular example comparing Van Dijk would be him to the likes of John Terry, who was obviously very dominant in his era when he played for Chelsea. However, the game has evolved significantly over the years, with changes in tactics, formations, and even players' positions. This makes it hard to compare a defender from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s to one of the current era. Different coaches and managers have distinct playing styles, which also affect how defenders perform. The rules of the game may have changed a little bit, and the introduction of VAR is one particular example, with the advances in technology and the changes in referees obviously having a impact. And let's be honest, the level of competition has increased exponentially, with the Premier League becoming one of the most competitive leagues in the world. This increased competition makes it even more challenging to compare players from different eras. The physical demands of the game have also changed, with players being required to be fitter and more athletic than ever before. Despite all of these changes though, there are some defenders who stand out from the rest, and in my personal opinion, Virgil van Dijk is certainly one of them. Defenders are often judged on their ability to defend, but they also need to be able to contribute to the team's attack. Van Dijk has shown his ability to do both. With his impressive passing range and vision, he's a true leader on and off the pitch, and his presence is a significant impact in the team's overall performance. His ability to read the game and make crucial interceptions has also been a key factor in Liverpool's success. Van Dijk's key performances have been instrumental in Liverpool's recent success, and I believe it's going to be a huge impact in us winning a Premier League title this season. He's been a dominant force in the team, and his leadership has also been a key factor in our victories. His statistics are impressive, with a high success rate in tackles and interceptions, but he's also shown his ability to score important goals with several crucial headers in big games. From a personal perspective, I think when you evaluate Virgil van Dijk to the likes of defenders from a previous era, I think it's a little unfair to those previous players, simply just down to the fact that Van Dijk is so much better. But I think a particular reason that he is so much better is the demands of the modern game in comparison to the demands that the game had in the early 2000s. I think that players need to be a more well-rounded footballer when playing center back. I think athletically, he may have been a lot similar to the likes of Rio Ferdinand, but unfortunately, I don't think Rio Ferdinand was as technically good as Virgil van Dijk. And in comparison to the likes of John Terry, he's way more athletic, while Terry was a very good technical center back. To me, I think it is unanimous that Virgil van Dijk is the greatest center back to ever grace the Premier League. But when you look at him from a club perspective, obviously he's the greatest center back to ever play for Liverpool. But in my opinion, I think you could make a strong argument he is the greatest player in the modern era in my lifetime I've ever seen play for the club. A perfect example would be to compare him with the likes of Steven Gerrard, who I love. Stevie G was my favorite player to watch growing up. However, the dark mark on Steven Gerrard's career is the fact that he was not able to win a Premier League in his time at Liverpool. And I think that when you look at the likes of Virgil van Dijk, obviously he's won every single trophy with Liverpool, and he's about to win his second Premier League title. I think that that has a huge impact on how he's been as a captain. Now, in the time he's since become the captain, taking it over from Jordan Henderson, winning his first Premier League title, but also re-signing with the club and showing his long-term commitment through the remainder of his career. And personally, I think Van Dijk is the perfect combination of both loyalty and success. Stevie G had the loyalty, and he obviously had the success, FA Cups, League Cups, Champions League, but there was always that one part that was missing. Currently, we don't have anything missing from Virgil van Dijk's career. And I think if you compare him to the likes of someone like Mo Salah, who's obviously been fantastic with Liverpool, it's really hard to compare them from different positions. But for me, I think Van Dijk is our greatest player in the modern era because at the current point, and even for several years now, I have felt as though Van Dijk is the greatest in his particular position. You can make an argument that there are players that may be better than Salah as wingers or even just any players in the front three. But when it comes to a defender, any fan will be lying to you if they were to tell you you could have one player in their prime currently in your back four. Everyone is picking Virgil van Dijk. He even went as far as to compete for a Ballon d'Or with Lionel Messi. The only defender, in my opinion, who has gone that far in the Ballon d'Or race. Virgil van Dijk, to me, is not only the greatest center back the Premier League has ever seen, I think he is the greatest player to play for Liverpool in the modern era. I have a lot of respect for the likes of Ian Rush, Kenny Dalglish, but unfortunately those guys came before my time and I can't really speak on it. But when it comes down to the guys that I've seen play for the club, I think Virgil van Dijk is the greatest player to play for Liverpool. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate all your support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Click that notification bell as well. I'm on track to 1,000 subscribers, so any and all support I really appreciate. Thank you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.